Let's bring in the mayor, Mayor Waterman, with us now. Great to have you with us.
Great to be here. Thank you for inviting me again.
The art jam was so cool. Like Tyler, in the middle, they had this one section, really great artwork, but then they had these murals, and everyone got to go just paint on the murals that I believe are going to be then positioned throughout the city.
That's exciting as you hear that Pontiac is becoming a cool place to be. We have a lot of cool events that are coming up that will invite people and trans people, and so we're here to tell you about that and to give the beacon call for those who are realizing that Pontiac is now a destination city again.
Right. We need people to come into Pontiac because I feel like, Mayor, it was like, it's like stop and go, stop and go, and stop and go. There's a little momentum, and then something happens, and it shifts back, and you're picking up speed, and then COVID hits. But what is in the pipeline for the city right now?
Where do I begin? So we have a number of events coming up related to the Dream Cruise was starting out, kind of the automotive related. We call that Pontiac Power Week in the city of Pontiac. And that's going to be the second and third weekends of August. And then we have, for the first time, coming to the city of Pontiac, the North American International Auto Show, which is going to be called Motorbella. That's going to be in September, followed by the American Festival Speedway. Those are the major events that are coming to the city of Pontiac, in addition to the fact that Roadkill, which is the drag racing along Woodward, will be part of that Power Week that we have here in Pontiac. But before that, we're going to be announcing those events and others by the fact that I am going to open up that Phoenix Center Amphitheater that has been long vacant, that has been a lot of history about how we have maintained ownership of that to the city of Pontiac and are revitalizing that. And I'm going to be opening that for the inaugural event there for my State of the City, which is going to be June the 28th, 2 weeks from today at 6 p.m. We're going to be on top of that Phoenix Center Amphitheater that has been long vacant to show people what the future vision is, how we develop that as an entertainment mecca right here in the heart of our Pontiac city. So that's going to be a real stunning event, an eye-opener for those who have not been there in some time and who remember the festivals and concerts that we used to have on the Phoenix Center Amphitheater.
It is so exciting to hear that that's coming back. And while you're at it, I'm going to be the first one. We had this conversation while I was in Pontiac. We think Pontiac needs to get Arts, Beats, and Eats back because it was so much better when it was in Pontiac than Royal Oak. There's no parking in Royal Oak. The businesses don't like it. We need Arts, Beats, and Eats back.
I agree with you. I loved Arts, Beats, and Eats when it was here. I was sad when it left. That was not during my administration. But I've been slowly trying to convince the promoter who has the franchise, who has the contract signed with Royal Oak. And we're trying to get that back because I'm working with the promoter, and he's the one that's bringing in our Dream Cruise Power Week activities. So as you see, I've got that working relationship, and maybe we can ease it back to Pontiac. And now that we have the Plaza Amphitheater, and that whole center of the downtown developing, that will be a ripe and ample opportunity to bring that back here to the city of Pontiac, and that's one of the things I have on my wish list.
Hashtag bring back Arts, Beats, and Eats. So with that, Mayor, if I can ask, though, because one thing I did notice, unfortunately, in downtown, there are still a lot of empty buildings. And I think some of that centered around some of these business owners waiting to see whether or not they were going to get the license for the marijuana dispensaries. Where do things stand in that arena?
Where that stands is that the way the medical marijuana was brought to town, it wasn't brought to town by our council, it was actually brought to town by people who introduced a referendum. And the way they brought it to town was to put all of the power for the applications and the decision-making in the hands of our city clerk, who's not elected, he's actually appointed by city council. So although we've been trying to help the city clerk to move along, in 2.5 years, he was just overwhelmed and had not gotten the license process going on. So we're happy to say that downtown has been held up for so long, but people are waiting. I'm just waiting to bring economic development that it will bring to our city. The citizens voted on that. And so that is my duty to institute that and implement it. But we're waiting for the clerk to issue the licenses. He has just recently now issued the rankings for the award winners for the 5 provisioning centers that will be downtown. So we hope with that, that's going to help to open this up and move it along for people who've been waiting and sitting on these options for our downtown buildings. Because I, as a mayor, like any mayor, want to bring that economic development industry to the city of Pontiac. I'm just waiting to cut the ribbons for these places who are going to bring that economic development as well as all the community benefits. That is what I've been trying to help the clerk get through this process. So as a mayor, I can introduce those in. I'm waiting to cut the red ribbons and to assist getting that industry brought to town in a way that's going to bring economic development and vitality to our downtown and the rest of the areas of the city.
Mayor Waterman with us here on the MegaCast, the mayor of the fine city of Pontiac. And with that, Mayor, too, we're hopefully on the backside of this pandemic. Are offices, City Hall, are the offices at City Hall open now?
Yes, they are. The June 1st, I declared the end of the state of emergency that I had declared way back in March of 2020. So it's been 16 months in which we've had to manage the pandemic. We never missed a beat in the city of Pontiac. We were still functioning full scale, just mandating under the systems of COVID restrictions that we had to do. But the city was still thriving, and we still had a lot of projects going on. One of the projects which is going to be coming to fruition is Amazon, which officially is going to be finished in terms of the construction phase. They will be delivering packages from that wonderful fulfillment center right on the old Silverdome site by the end of July. So this is amazing. The site is, that Amazon fulfillment center is 4 times as big as the Silverdome. It's amazing to see. We're going to be doing a tour, our last tour, to see all the robotics and conveyors and all the wondrous things that they've instilled to make that Amazon delivery site such an important facility that we were able to bring here to the city of Pontiac.
Yeah, it really is. You drive by and it was like they built that thing like that. It is up. The sign is up. You can't miss it. And we were talking because you remember, how much the guy bought the old Silverdome from the city of Pontiac back in the day. That was before you, under the emergency manager. And you just wonder about the development that's going to go on there. But also, do you think it's going to bring more residents into the city of Pontiac?
We're certainly going to bring more workers and residents. We're bringing residents now because right now we're suffering the fact that we need to produce more housing. We've got 20 housing projects going on right now in the city of Pontiac. This is more housing development than they've had in 30 years in the city of Pontiac. That's because as we're bringing more industries in, businesses in, the Amazon is just one of them. They're now looking for 3,000 to 5,000 employees for that. So as we're bringing in new jobs, we're also bringing people who realize what a fine place it is to live in Pontiac, our parks, our beautiful neighborhoods. The people who put their houses up for sale, it generally takes less than 2 days to sell a house in Pontiac right now because we are now the go-to city and people are discovering that this is a good place to live, work, and play. And we welcome all those who have the interest in Pontiac.
So with that too, if one thing that when you move into Pontiac though, the insurance rates go up, and I know this has really been a big issue and discussion in Detroit. Any talk around that issue in the city of Pontiac?
Well, we are like one of the metropolitan cities that are affected by that in the situation of the insurance rates in Michigan in general, and certainly as part of the consortium of mayors that's looking at as a commonality of our issues with insurance rates. And of course, the new auto rates go into effect July 1st. And those were things something that was worked upon for a number of years by people who had mutual interest in making sure that was something that did not affect citizens adversely. So that's important for our citizens who also are affected by these rates. And we're going to be giving educational seminars to people to know how they use those new rates and those new options they have under the new rules that go into place July 1st.
So, Mayor, if I can ask you, what's this past year been like for you to try to manage a city in the middle of a pandemic?
It's been unusual because we haven't had a pandemic for the last 100 years, but we went about that much as we did anything else. We have to do about that strategically, realizing that health, safety, and welfare is the most important consideration of the elected officials and certainly the mayor. I took that to heart. One of the things we had to make sure that we could do what we could to help to our citizens who were adversely affected. We brought in so many volunteer groups and aid to make sure that people got fed during the times early part of the pandemic, when people were unsure about their jobs, could not work, were sick, take care of family members. We had to make sure that people did not suffer nutritional or food. So I'm just grateful for all the groups who gathered together concertedly to make sure that we had people fed, also to get people vaccinated. So we were very busy in making sure that we brought in vaccination sites here to the city of Pontiac to make them accessible, to bring down the barriers. We still have an initiative going with pastors of a number of our churches where we will take vaccination sites to their churches for people who are hesitant, want to do it in a place they're familiar where they don't have to make an appointment. So that's going on. It's continuing to be the backdrop, but we continue to function. We did whatever we had to do to make sure that we were able to function in our department. So we still have the services delivered because that was our primary responsibility. We took that to heart, but now we're opening up fully. We're welcoming back visitors to City Hall and to other facilities, and we're going to be announcing that and the plans to do that at the State of the City June the 28th. We hope a lot of people will attend and get all the Pontiac then, Pontiac now, and we're going to give them a little future vision of what we put in place for Pontiac in the future.
Look at that, a state of the city in person.
That's right, at the Phoenix Center Amphitheater. Lighting up that tinting awning that has been dead and not lit up for so many years. We're going to do that night. So that's going to be exciting for all those who remember Arts, Beats, and Eats and all those events that happened right there in the Phoenix Center Amphitheater. It's been a journey, but we won, and it's been very gratifying to be able to bring that and to give that win to the citizens of the Pontiac and all the people who are friends of this city.
So Mayor Waterman, just a couple minutes here left with you on the show, and with that, can we talk? Are you running for re-election? Will your name will or will not be on the ballot?
I absolutely am running, and I am a candidate who is going to continue to give the messaging about the things I've delivered, the things we've said, and the progress that we've had through so much people I brought together, so many partners, so many resources. And we're going to continue that if the people want me to continue to serve them in that way. Due to some technicalities, I will not be on the ballot, and I'm asking people to write me in. And that's a simple process that they identify the mayoral section on the ballot. They write in my name. We're going to be having an education program on spelling my name. The last name's easy, Waterman, water and man. First name will tell them how to spell. And then they fill in the oval. Just a 3-step process. I'm asking people to write me in for this, to continue the progress hand in hand and shoulder that we've had. And then for the August 3rd primary, I plan to come in one of the top 2, and that means I would be on the ballot from November the 2nd. So that's the messaging we're taking out. We want people to know it, and thank you for mentioning that. I am, will be, and will stand firm in taking out that messaging to the public that I am a candidate to continue to be the mayor of the city of Pontiac, this great city.
So with that, Mayor Waterman, quickly on your State of the City speech, will you also be live streaming it, doing like a hybrid situation?
Yes, we'll be live streaming it, but there are ample seating for everybody there, even those who want to still stay socially distanced. We are going to do it on the 28th with the rain date of the 30th, but we're going to do it before this fiscal year. We're going to tell the people all the things that we have come through then, Pontiac now, all the wonderful things are developing, and all the things that hand in hand we can continue to experience in the future. And they're going to get that vision of the 3 cities of Pontiac. That's what we're going to tell them on 28th of June. So be there.
I know it's been a long year. Deirdre Waterman with us here on the MegaCast, Mayor for the City of Pontiac. We want to say thank you for your time, and also, best of luck on the redevelopment and economic growth there in the City of Pontiac. It's looking bright right now.
Looking great. And thank you for helping us taking that message out to the public. Come visit us.
Tyler, it's great. There's some cool restaurants in downtown Pontiac right now, so it's going to be great to see, how it continues to grow, because with Amazon and some of these other businesses in one, I think it's going to put Pontiac back on the map.
Yeah, the excitement is there as we're coming out of the pandemic. The momentum was already trickling in before the end of this pandemic, and it's a really good-looking time for the city.